Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Arran, I'm Chris, and let's get started on today's podcast.
Hello, what's happening?
What is happening? Listen to this, right? So this is one thing I want to talk about, and this actually brings me up with your food and stuff, because what's the deal with these fancy restaurants, right?
Right.
When you go, I'm talking fancy, like
Yeah.
like you pay £300 for a meal, fancy, like for a person, right?
Yeah.
And I've noticed this, I've seen this in movies, I've seen this in other stuff, right? And it's literally like, you come in, you sit down, and you get your main brought over to you, or your whatever, and there's literally just like a big plate with like a little tiny wee bite-sized thing in the middle. Whether it's salmon or a bit of steak or whatever. It's literally just a bite. And I'm like, what is the actual, know the point of it, but what's the actual, is this place just to taste it and to see, to just experience the quality that they've provided, or is it to actually get a decent meal, or what's this? Because let me tell you, no one's getting a decent meal out of that amount of food. There's nothing on that plate, bro. It's like one tiny little thing.
Obviously, a lot of the restaurants do, like a lot of these sort of higher chain restaurants, higher class restaurant, they do like a small plate option.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be things like that, or like sort of tapasy, like small plate option where you've everything's a smaller portion, but you try, like, you don't try the food, but you're like, if you just get a massive steak, right, you're eating that and that's all you're eating. But with this sort of smaller plates, you're kind of getting something where you can still have other things.
But this is like what you're describing is, to me, sounds like a side dish or a starter. Whereas I'm talking about coming in.
They do this
it's
for
a
main. Yeah, they just for
Is it?
mains. Yeah.
Literally, you're having like a 3-course meal, right?
Yeah, but your main would be
starter.
your main could be 5 things, all small plates.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Because this is where this comes from, right? Is because I see this kind of stuff on Instagram, social media, whatever, right? Movies and stuff. I've never actually been to a place like that before, because I didn't really know what it was all about. So I was like, I'm not going over there to just, have a couple of bites of food for 300 quid. Where I could go to like a nice steakhouse, like, I don't know, like Fazenta or something, like proper nice, and get a decent meal for kind
for
of the same.
For a decent amount of meal.
It's still a pricey meal, but at least you're getting a decent meal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Like any steakhouse, nice.
So, like, I've been to a few.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've been to loads, but I would say, for example, I went to one the other day. In fact, so a couple of examples. I did a place called Tattoo.
I've heard of that place. It's meant to be nice.
Yeah, really nice. So they did sort of a similar style where the plates were smaller, but you could try lots of different things. The portions weren't too big, so you could get a feel for even the starters. So you had like multiple starters, multiple mains. You're all sort of like share it. So like, it was me, my mum, my brother at the time, and you can share like that. Like, obviously, she's got this, you're like, right, cool, but it's all on the table, so you can just and you just help, and you have your own plate, so you just help yourself, sort of thing. Another place I went to recently was for my friend's birthday, so went to a place called Sushi Samba. This is a place just recently that I can relate to what you're saying. So Sushi Samba, like, my friend Paul from the gym, he had ordered for us all. He'd been before. There's one in Dubai, I think, and there's one in London, and then there's one up here in the W Hotel.
Just 3?
I think so. I feel there might be one in France or something like that, but I can't remember. He's been one in Dubai and he's been one in London.
What's it called? Sorry, Sushi Samba.
Sushi Samba, right?
Okay.
Really, really nice, and everyone would think it's just sushi. It's not. So we went, and I obviously I'm not the worst eater in the world, but I can be picky if I don't know what's in it. So like, if I read it on the menu and I'm like, I don't know what that is, I'm a bit funny. Like, whereas I'm more likely to try it if it's on the table.
Bro, this place does literally exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. So everything we got, like, it was really nice. So there was lots of us. So like, me, Paul, James, Mercedes, a girl Cameron, a Cammy that I didn't know, and a guy Derek, right? Lots. So that was like what, 6 of us. So we got multiple plates of food. So it was like, I remember us getting like, but they sort of bring them out, but like not all at once. So it's like they bring some out, and then you're kind of eating, and then as they sort of remove plates, they're adding. But you've ordered all this at the start, so they nearly do it in like a sort of, not everything at once. It's a sort of like a
progressive.
Yeah, progressive thing. So you're eating.
So you'll eat one thing, then they'll obviously bring the next.
Yeah,
thing
to a degree,
as well.
but it's like it's really smooth like that. Like you don't really notice.
Okay.
So like, there was obviously some fish stuff. There was sushi there. I had some sushi. I tried every single thing that was there. I had squid. There was a sort of prawn thing that was like super nice. There was pork, I think it was like pork loin or something like that. I can't remember. And then a sort of chicken thing that was like a wee bit spicy and that. That was nice. But like it's all sort of like sliced, so like you can just take bits. Then there was a stone that was like hot, so you could cook wee like steak slices on it and all that. Amazing, right? And you put it in like sauces and all that. Super nice, right? Honestly, there was like a salmon thing as well that I really liked. But all these were coming out because Paul's obviously been before, so he ordered multiple things, and then it was just like, obviously it all came out sort of and like, again, I'm like, I don't know what any of this is. If I looked on the menu, I'm not ordering that.
Yeah.
But because he had ordered it, I'm kind of, everything that's coming out, I'm like, right, let's just give that a shot.
Yeah.
Let's just give that a shot.
You're like, right.
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah.
Like, I see, if I don't like it, I don't like it, right?
Yeah. At least you tried it.
And see, to be honest, I think I liked every single thing. The chicken was a wee bit spicy. There was the spicy chicken that was a wee bit spicy for me.
Yeah, you don't do spice.
Not really.
No, you think milk's spicy.
Nah, this was spicy. Everyone found it spicy. So this was the only thing. I don't say it was nice. It was nice. But I would say it was a wee bit hot for me based off everything else that I'd eaten. But everyone was fantastic. Every single thing was amazing. Like, genuinely. But I'm talking an expensive meal, mate. Like, Christ, probably like, maybe, I think it was like 800, 900 quid.
Right.
For like, and I wasn't drinking, Paul wasn't drinking. There was quite a few.
Just basically food.
Yeah, a couple of people had a couple of drinks, but that's it. And I promise you, mate, it was. So it's an expensive meal, but obviously it's split between 6 years, right? And we had a lot of food. Like, we'd never finished everything, right? But and we finished most of it.
Yeah.
But not everything. But mate, like, probably some of the nicest food I've ever eaten. I think it's Brazilian.
Is it just seafood and sushi, or is
Nah,
it stuff?
everything,
Stuff? Yeah.
everything.
Right.
Yeah, steaks, everything.
Yeah. Right, okay.
So it's like, I'm sure that it's 3 places. I'm sure it's like Brazil, Peru, and something else, right? It's like Japan or something like that,
Okay.
right? And that's like the foods. Oh, mate, fantastic. So this is what I'm saying. Can go to a Today place, go to freaking Fazenda and pay 70 quid, right? And get unlimited steak. That's totally great, but there's no danger it was on the level of the food that I ate in there.
Yeah, so you're paying for the quality.
Not even close.
Yeah, you're paying for the
And
quality.
I still, if people were to be like, where's like a nice steak that you've had, I wouldn't say Fazenda in comparison to there. No danger. The steak, even though I only got steak slices that I cooked on a stone in front of my own self,
Yeah.
it was the nicest food in the world. Like, the taste was like, you were like, oh my god, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be honest, once you've ate loads of small plates, you're actually full anyway. You've just got to try so many different things.
Around the plates,
yeah. So you got to try all these like different flavors and different tastes and all that, like, which is nice. There's different sauces. Some are spicy, some are like soy sauce, some are all these different ones. So like, it's cool that you get like that. And
Nice.
And like, honestly, mate, I would go in a heartbeat again. It was so nice.
You're making me want to go there, to be honest.
You should 100% try it. I've actually recommended it to about 10 people since I've been.
Right.
It was super nice. It was for Mercedes' birthday. It was fantastic. Honestly, like, I'd never been, and I originally thought this is going to be just sushi, and I'm not going to like it. Like, or I would like it, but not to get a full meal. I don't mind sushi, but I'm not eating sushi and it's a filling meal. I would eat sushi as like a starter, like it's a small appetizer, like I'd have a couple of bits of sushi.
Thing.
It's not that bad, right? And there was a couple of bits of salmon sushi in that I had, and it was fantastic, right? And you eat with chopsticks as well, which is cool.
I need to learn to do
Mate,
that.
I'm not the best with chopsticks, but
I've done it once before,
I'm not bad.
but I can't remember if I can do it.
it's hard, like, once you, especially with all the different types of food, so you're like kind of like a pure bit of pork or something, and you're like, like on your plate, mate. You're shaking. Like,
I'm gonna have to come in there with a fork in my pocket, just like.
mate, no one uses forks.
I know.
They didn't even have forks there.
Right.
Can I say that? It was like.
Bring my own.
Can I say that was the starter? It was like green beans, and they were like in batter, salted and in batter.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like hard, like that, like straightened, and then like they were battered, but like lightly battered,
Okay.
and you could eat them like crisps.
Okay.
And I was like, they were like a sort of starting thing, and I was like, whoa, these are so like.
That sounds good.
Mate, I didn't want them at all. I was like, I'm not trying them, and then eventually Paul bullied me into trying them, right? And then obviously I was like, right, cool, and I ate one, and I was like, this. Oh, it's like, oh my god! I was like, why haven't I been eating this? So then I ate like half the bowl.
Right. Okay.
It was so, mate, it's so nice, man.
Well, there's a place I've been to. I went to over the weekend, right? And it's not a restaurant. It's more of a sort of like an arcade, but with drinks.
Oh, okay.
It's called NQ64. If you've been.
Yeah, I have actually been.
How good?
When I was blutered, like, but
Okay.
I've been.
I was a little bit drunk, but not drunk enough to like not remember what I was doing in there.
Yeah.
And so I walked in. I've been in there before, but I kind of I was actually hammered. So I walked like the first time I went in there, like ages ago. I went in and I just walked round, and I was like, meh. I walked back out, but it's because I was that hammered. I didn't even get to see what there was, right? So anyway, we walked in, and I was like, holy shit, this place is crazy. Like,
That's fantastic.
Insane. So you got your old Xboxes, you got your old PlayStation.
Yeah.
One of them had GTA San Andreas, and I was like, I'm going to sit right there and just stay there, right? So some people went on the dance machine, some people went on the basketball thing, and we went over to get some drinks. I got some coins, and I went over.
Tokens, eh?
I found the place for me in there. Guitar Hero booth.
Yeah, the wee booth at the back. That's so me. When me and Danny went.
I was walking about, and I was like, I'm sure there's meant to be Guitar Hero here. And I was panicking. I was looking about like frantically, like, where the fuck is it? And then I finally found it. There it said Guitar Hero, and I was like, oh my fucking god. I went straight to get fucking tokens, came back, and I was like, right, time to fucking rock.
So me and Danny were on a night out once, right?
Right.
Work night out. Everyone's gone home. It's just me and Danny, right?
Okay.
And Danny's like, I know where to go. Come with me. So we've gone absolutely smashed, right? Been out all day drinking the lot. Like, it's a full day drinking day, right? Everyone's way home by a long time.
Right.
It's like fucking 1:30 and 2 in the morning. He's like, come with me. I'm like, cool. NQ64, right? He's like, straight to the back. Didn't even, like, man had got tokens on the way in, straight to the back, right? I'm like, cool. Got a drink each. Right, straight to the back, Guitar Hero. And he was like, are you feeling ready? I was like, I can't even see the screen, mate. And he was like, just do your best. But I was like, that's all right. Mate, I've got the leg up. I was like, right? It was so good, man. Like, so good.
It's a very fun place. It really is a very fun place. There's honestly so many old games there, and just so many different like arcadey things to do. So if you're from Edinburgh and you want a place to go where you're into games, you're a bit of a nerd, and you like a drink while doing all that, and it's a nice place, all graffiti.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like,
I literally can't think of any better place.
I went to a place in Glasgow once. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, come on. Because if it's like that, I want to go now.
It's huge. Much better than that.
Well, I want to go.
It's like 2 floors.
Well, I want to go. So you better remember the name.
Mate, there can't be that many of them, right? But honestly, you go here, place is next level.
Okay.
This is a full, like, it's like a big shopping, like, complex thing. And there's, like, obviously other shops there. There's, like, axe throwing, bars, all that in it, right? And there's a cinema and all that in it, right? But you go, like, close to the back and there's this massive arcade, right? But I heard that they'd done it all up since the last time I went. But it's humongous.
Okay.
Massive, right? And it's got everything in it you can imagine. Every game possible, like, you could ever think of. Old games, new games, Xbox, PlayStations, everything. And you just buy, like, you get the tokens and you just play whatever you want to play. And it's class. Like,
I'm going to be up all night looking at, trying to find
mate,
that place.
Honestly, like, I recently said to someone from my work, I was talking about it, and I was like, do you know what the place is called in Glasgow, blah, 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 because she's from Glasgow, and she was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, I need to find this place. I was like, because I can't even remember.
If a person from Glasgow doesn't know what it's called, we're going to have a difficult time trying to find it.
Nah, we'll find it. But I went before I think it got done up, and then now it's been like revamped. It's supposed to be even better, but it was good before.
I'm gonna have to find it. I'm gonna have to try.
It's got the Motorbike games on that. Can you like? It's got everything in it. Class. And honestly, I would go back now.
I just love Guitar Hero, so as soon as I found it, I was like, oof. I was on it the whole night, literally.
Guitar Hero was class. Me and Danny played it. Danny was class. I was shit.
I was playing it on Expert.
Oh shit.
I was absolutely slaying it.
He kept putting on Expert. I was getting smoked. I was like, I'm hitting nothing. Like, I'm like thinking I'm smashing it, right? And he's smashing the score out, right? And I'm like, right, fucking, honestly, mate.
You're looking at his screen thinking it's you.
Mate, I'm like, I'm a fucking machine at this game. I'm just, right? And then obviously hitting nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
Literally.
Points at the end, 100.
I realised that you can't actually see the arcade version of Guitar Hero. You can't actually get booed off the stage. So
okay, you normally get booed off the stage.
Yeah, you normally you do get booed. If you're doing shit, you're not hitting any notes. The meter's going down, and you get booed off. You get the fuck.
Oh, I've never had that before.
Aye, well, in the arcade versions, you don't because you've paid money to play the song. So it's unfair if you get booted off, regardless if you're shite or not. So that's what happened in NK64. I was playing one song on Expert, but I kind of overdone it because I didn't expect that many notes at that particular song, right? And it's been a while since I played it. So I was literally like there having a fucking finger aneurysm and I couldn't fucking get any of the notes.
Mate, I had nothing.
I was, at one point I just stopped just to test it and I was like, that thing's not going down. I'm not going to get booed off stage here. Okay, back to it. Just whatever.
Let me quickly tell you about something, right?
Go for it. Tell me.
It's because we're on the whole rock and roll thing, right?
Alright.
So, there was this game when I was, I feel it was on PS3.
Okay, we're talking a wee bit.
I would say,
well, late 2000s.
I would have been youngish. I would have been probably like, maybe could have been like between 12, 13-year-old maybe. And it was called Brutal Legend. Did you ever play this?
Nope.
Mate, this was I promise you now, this is one of the best games of all time. So basically what happened was, Jack Black got involved and basically like, I'm pretty sure he like made his own game with a like game company. So it's, you play as Jack Black.
What's this?
You're the main character.
Called, sorry?
Brutal Legend, right?
Brutal Legend.
Yeah. So you play as the main character, Jack Black, right?
Oh, there's 2 games. 1 and 2.
I don't think
there's a second one, yeah.
I didn't know that.
This came out in...
When did the second one come out?
It got cancelled. It was gonna come out.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't think it ever came out.
Yeah, no, it got cancelled.
So the first one, so you're Jack Black.
2009.
Okay, there you go. Right, so I was like, literally 30, right?
Yeah.
So you're Jack Black. You are a roadie, so like you obviously fix people's guitars and that in this band, right? And you're wearing this like skull belt that's obviously like some demon or something. And you fall off the stage. And blood goes into the belt. That's right at the start, and it causes a ritual to happen, and you get transported to this world, right? That's like like medieval times, but it's also a wee bit Mad Maxy because it's fucking like people have got knives and all that shit, right? And like swords and all that sort of stuff, right? And then you've got like you have this big axe. You pick up this big axe, and it's like fucking. The axe of whatever, it's like Armageddon or something, right?
Yeah.
So people kind of get the axe that's in a stone and you pick it out like pure King Arthur and that, right? So everyone's like, what the fuck, right? And it's all demons and all that, right? And then you're like, right, I'm going to make a hot rod. That's what you go about in, a hot rod, right?
Okay.
But everyone else doesn't have cars. So everyone else doesn't know, like, everyone's like, what is that? Like, that's not a dragon.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And you're fucking...
That's not a horse and carriage.
Yeah, right? So you've got the pure hot rod music on and all that, and it's pure like, like flying down, right? And you're just mashing through folk, right? And you're just like on it, because you have to go down this big massive hill over this bridge, it's breaking down. But there's loads of like demons on it trying to come up with swords to get you. You're just mashing through them in your hot rod, and they just go, like, right? And then, because you meet this chicken, and she's like, right, come with me. So like some of the characters are based off like rock guys. So like Ozzy Osbourne's in it.
Okay.
And he's like what is he called again? The god of metal or something, right? Because what happens is it's all about heavy metal and rock and roll. So you have your guitar with you as well. So like when you use your guitar, like fucking causes folk to get electrocuted and like lightning comes out and all that, and it fireballs folk and all that, right? All the songs in it are heavy metal songs as well, right? So everything is just constant heavy metal, right? And then like but it's weird because it's an action game, so you can run about and fucking smash stuff, all that shit.
Oh, is it like open world?
Open world, right? And there's obviously missions, so you go to the mission point, a bit like Grand Theft Auto, right? But there's also this weird aspect of it where if you're going to fight in a sort of boss battle where it's like an army against an army, it's like nearly like a tower defense game, but not quite. So you're him, but you also manage all your guys. So you've got like headbangers who are like your normal infantry units, and you basically get them, and they're just like topless dudes, big long hair and all that. But it's like sort of like cartoon level, like world. But they've got big massive necks because they just go like that all the time, right? And they headbutt people. Okay. So, but you can put them in a wee swarm. So there's like 10 of them, and they're all like that. Right, and they all just run into demons, just mash them all, right?
Right, okay.
So you get them, and then you get like you get one guy. Oh, Ozzy Osbourne's called the Guardian of Metal. That's what it is. You get one guy, and he's on a big bike, right? And he plays the bass, and he heals your units and all that. So he goes about on his bike, and then like you get these lassies that are like like archers. I can't remember what they actually play, but you get all these different ones, right? Oh, they've got big guns. That's what it is, big war pig guns and all that, right? But you have to tower defense them to protect them, and you have to get fans. So you make a stage, and they've got a stage, and you've got to get fans. So you have to pick the towers up. So you have to capture the towers, build your wee things on the towers, and then the fans all are like ghosts, and they start coming at the thing, which gives you more points, which means you can get more units and then go forward, right? It's weird as hell.
I'm gonna have to buy an Xbox 360
so then you win it,
so I can play that.
You win the tower defense, and that's you, and then you've like beat the boss. It's the weirdest thing, right?
Sounds amazing.
But mate, honestly, it's one of the best games of all time, and I'm gutted they never remade it or remastered it for fuck all. On Xbox, I think they did remaster it for not 360. It must be Xbox One maybe, because you could play it and it was class. But you could honestly, mate, you would play this game, but it's so funny because it's Jack Black's voice and all that. So like, it's all like pure jokes and like all that, and it's like funny as fuck. Like when you're driving about and you're like, there's like animals running about that are weird fucking mutated animals, and there's like bad guys running about the open world and that. You're just fucking flying about in your hot rod, but you can customize a hot rod and all that as well.
Okay.
So you get like customized like 2 miniguns and all that on the front of it, and you just pure mashing through folk and all that. Class. It's one of the best games I've ever played.
That sounds amazing.
And it was like a childhood game. I played through it about 10 times in a row.
That sounds amazing. I like these kind of games because
There's like nothing like it.
It's like these like one-off games. It's like that, or like The Simpsons Hit and Run. Like
another
amazing,
fantastic game.
Like I like 50 Cent games. They were.
Oh, amazing. Remember that? Yeah. Remember
like I like these. I like these random games that I've just been.
Yeah.
I feel like they're like the coolest because you get these mainstream games like these fucking chain games that you just get every couple of years or whatever. They're good, but there's just character because people actually put a lot of effort into making these so that they get remembered, they get played.
Yeah, I would honestly see that sort of era of games like Simpsons Hit and Run, all these types of games. They were like fantastic because they've never made games like it again.
And they won't.
Like Simpsons Hit and Run, they've never made another one of them or anything even remotely close to it. You've never made another like Brutal Legend. Never made another one. Anyone that's played it's like, oh my god, fucking amazing, right? Anyone that's not played it's like, I've never heard it. Well, right, but you play it, it's class.
Yeah,
like that's.
I like these games because they've got a cool story. You actually want to play them when you're playing.
Because you're like, what is this game? Like, has this got anything to do with anything? No. Like it's mental.
It's just insanity.
Yeah. I like honestly, mate, I fucking really enjoyed it. It was really good. And then there's a new game come out, right? Because speaking of tower defense, I used to play a game on the laptop called Dawn of War. It was like Space Marine. It was like Space Marine, like Warhammer, right? It was called Dawn of War. It's basically full tower defense, right? I used to play it when I was young. Right. It was like the only computer game I ever played. Okay. I played Dawn of War 1, 2, 3, 4, and me and my brother was just talking about it the other day. But basically, it's got Space Marines in it, right? And then they brought a game out on PlayStation 3 or 4, which was just called Space Marine, Warhammer Space Marine or something like that, right? And you're basically a big Space Marine, which is like a big soldier in a big robot suit. You've got a big fucking sword with a chainsaw on it and like a gun and all that. They've just brought another one out, Space Marines, right? Literally just for but it's just came out on like PlayStation, Xbox, and all that, right? And it looks fucking awesome. Like, it looks awesome. Honestly, awesome. Like, we'll put the trailer up so you can watch it.
We've got more incoming from the east.
So, like, you're a big soldier, right? You just kill aliens and fucking everything else, right? And it looks honestly, man, it's fucking badass. You basically just mash everything in front of you.
We're saved. Brothers,
But it's funny, it's actually a wee bit like the past where, like, they used to fucking like have Templars, kind of like knights and all that at the time. They used to do that, and they used to do, like, the Templars used to fight for the fucking the crown and all that, right? And like, but actually they were fucking half the bad guy because they were killing fucking towns and all that. It's the same thing. The Space Marines are the same thing. They fight for the Emperor, which basically they just kill things and all that. You just kill everything.
What even are those things?
They're like aliens, so they'll be like an alien race. The Space Marines can fucking mash them, dude.
They're like dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's all sorts of shit. There'll be people on other planets, there'll be aliens, there'll be fucking all sorts of shit. And you just mash through everything. That's the whole game.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Because we're talking about creatures and
Yeah.
weird things like that, right? This
Yeah.
reminds me. I watched that movie the other day there.
Right.
It's a little bit off the game subject now, but it's because it just reminded me of it. It was called Sting.
Oh, yeah, okay. Is it the one about the spider? The little spider, and then it grows up and turns out a giant spider and kills everyone.
Well, that's us, guys. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Nah, I've not seen it. No.
So how did you know?
Because I know every single film.
Right. Anyway.
Make it my business to know. But no, it's on my list to watch.
Alright, so
But go on.
to the
tell us
next
about it.
point.
No,
Okay.
tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Right, so so this movie it's meant to be a horror. I wouldn't class it as a horror unless you've got
Thriller.
Yeah, thriller. Unless
Yeah.
you've got arachnophobia, which in that case you will be shitting your pants every 2 minutes. Because obviously there's a spider in it.
Spoilers are coming, but just
Oh yeah, there will be
tell us
spoilers.
about the
There will
film.
be spoilers, but it's good. It was okay. It was good. Spider's fake as fuck, if I'm honest. And there has been certain moments where I've looked at it and I was like, right, so they went really heavy on the
CGI. like.
animation CGI type of thing, right?
Right, okay.
And it's a little bit. There was a couple of scenes that were just like, really, you know.
Really?
There was one scene.
Go on.
And spoiler alert.
No, just start from the start. Tell me, just go from the start.
Let me tell you the scene because I'll forget.
Go on.
Because it's not pertinent to any
Right,
specific
okay.
order of
Tell me the
things.
scene then.
Right.
start
So
from
the scene was that the spider it wasn't at its full size yet. It
Right,
was
okay.
like.
I assume it's just growing throughout the film.
It goes through. So wait a minute, right? So, okay, I'll start from the fucking bottom, right? Okay, so it starts off as an egg, and then it progresses into obviously a tiny little spider. Then it gets caught by this little girl. She puts it in a jar, and
Right.
she realizes that the spider because it's an alien spider. It's not a spider that's
Oh,
like a
right,
regular, right?
okay.
So it can actually communicate with the person. So she does like a wee whistle tone, and it mimics it back. So it can mimic you. It can,
Okay.
It can mimic any sound. It can mimic any voice. It can mimic anything.
Really?
Right. So it can trick you. So
Thinking that you're like, I'm in the bathroom, and it's
something
fucking,
like that.
you can't.
So
Okay.
what happens, right? So it starts mimicking whatever, right? So she's the little girl's a little bit tapped, right? So she keeps feeding it fucking cockroaches and shit like that, and
Right, okay.
all sorts of insects and whatever else, right? Then it starts getting bigger and bigger to the point where it actually unsecures the jar by itself at night.
Right.
It goes out, kills some shit.
Well, like little stuff, I would assume.
Little stuff, yeah, at that point, little stuff, and comes back. So the first thing was the little girl's granny's parrot.
Right, okay.
Absolutely mutilated in its cage, right? It gets found the next day being like,
Right.
you can see, it shows you the parrot, and it's literally like no fur, just a lump of blood and meat. And the cage is all fucked up because the parrot was obviously trying to bite through it to escape. But obviously there was no escaping that anyway, right? So they find it and they're like, what the hell, right? So they get this exterminator out, and the exterminator is funny as fuck, right? Because it's like this black dude, he just comes out, he's like, what the fuck is this shit? He's just, oh, he's so funny. And then, what's it called? He's like, whatever did that wasn't no damn rat. Whatever did that. Because they think they've got like a rat or like a mouse or something simple, right? So no one knows about this fucking spider, right? Until she takes it up to her neighbour's house, who's like a scientist, and he experiments on animals and shit like that,
okay,
right?
okay.
So she takes it up to him. He's like a weird Chinese guy. It takes it up to him, and she's like, yeah, so I've got this spider, and it's fucking weird. It eats like fuck, and it just grows. She goes, is it normal?
How big is it at this point?
She's like, is it normal for a spider to grow from like this size to this size in 2 days? And he goes, no, obviously not. And she's like, well, have a look. And this thing is like massive at this point, right? So what happens later is the Chinese guy then tells the little girl's dad that she's got a very venomous, poisonous, deadly spider. He goes crazy. Mum goes crazy. Everybody goes crazy, and then the spider smashes through the glass. So he puts it in like an aquarium, like a dry aquarium tank. Yeah. The spider smashes through that, gets the Chinese guy, mutilates him into a web and everything, starts munching on him, right? Then he goes over and there's like a woman that lives as a neighbour, and she had lost her whole family in like an accident or something. From what I can assume. So she's on her own, right?
Yeah, okay.
She's got like a little yappy dog, right?
God.
So the dog gets taken, right? And then the spider comes for her.
Right.
And then the way it does it, right, is there's this corridors of air vents, air ducts inside this block of apartments.
Yeah.
And that's how the spider moves about through all these, right? So the dog gets taken and she's like, where the fuck is my dog, right? So the spider knows its sound, so it mimics it through the air duct.
Oh no!
So she takes the thing off the wall.
Thinking the dog's stuck in the air duct.
Yeah. So she opens that,
no.
and she's like, "Blah, where are you? Whatever." And the spider just comes right at her, right in her face, just fucking absolutely dead.
How big is it by this point?
Size of her face, at least, aye. So what it does at this point, right, is it's like it knocks her out. It freaks her out, and she falls over and hits her head or neck against something, and it paralyzes her completely. She can't move.
Oh, God.
But she's fully awake. She's fully coherent.
Aware of everything going on.
God. But she can't move. She's like froze because she's fucked. She's paralyzed. No, neck's broken. She's sitting there like like that, right? Spider's coming towards her like that, and she's honestly shitting herself. It goes inside her mouth, right? And this is the part where I was going to say to you, very unrealistic, right? It went in her mouth, and you can see it through the skin, like walking down and down into her stomach, right?
What the fuck?
And you know the spider leg or fang or whatever, you can see the stomach getting cut from the inside, open like that. And I'm like, right, come on now. That would never fucking happen. How no.
Well, no, but there wouldn't be a giant spider like that in the first place.
I know, but they've made a thing that's unrealistic even more ridiculous.
They could do that from the inside.
What, cut?
Slice the stomach. Yeah, easy.
The thing was, bro, there's skin and everything.
Yeah, but there's nothing there.
Nah, I was like, nah.
They do a scalpel, bro.
What spider do you know who's got a scalpel?
Aye, but the spider's legs have got the wee sharp nails.
Right, David Attenborough. Anyway, so as it goes on, it keeps fucking.
As soon as it's just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it literally, yeah. And then, so what happens is there is the guy that comes out. The exterminator comes out. He sprays the whole building down with mothballs.
Right.
Mothballs are apparently spider repellents. I don't know if it's a fictional thing that's in the thing or what, but anyway.
Know.
So, what happened was the granny is safe. She's got dementia. She doesn't know what's going on, right? And she's got this cardigan or something that's made of a material that repels spiders. The spider will not touch her.
That is true.
Yeah.
There is a material. It's like
Repels
like
it,
a
like
pure
fuck.
merino wool or something.
Yeah,
and
so-
spiders don't like it.
Literally, so that's what she's wearing, right? So the little girl's basically saves everybody in the end because she gets them
Is the
off
spider
balls.
still friends with the little girl?
No, because it tries to eat everybody. Tries to
Even the
fuck
wee girl?
Everybody, bro. Everybody. It tries to attack everyone. But so what happens is she's got like this little toy water gun, and what happens is she gets them off balls. She mixes it with water,
Yeah.
and puts it in the water gun and just starts spraying everything, right? And the melts the webs and that. It rescues people, and
Nice.
like everybody gets rescued, and blah blah. But yeah, the granny. So the first scene was what had me confused because it was the granny and she's calling. There's noises in the ceiling, noises in the walls. She calls the exterminator, and it's like he comes out. It's the same guy, and then there's a van parked outside with the other exterminators, and he's like, "What the fuck are they doing here? Like when you've just called me, like blah blah." And she's got dementia. She doesn't remember anything. She sits down and she just forgets about everything, right?
Aye.
So what? And then the dude that came out, he finds the other exterminators in the duct vent, all fucked up in the web.
Oh, like dead.
Yeah, everything. And
Oh,
then he
because
gets
she's
sucked
just
in.
phoning them, thinking, nothing that.
I need another one. I need a new one. No one's fucking doing anything about this or whatever. Blah blah. Right? And then it goes 3 days earlier. And then the whole movie starts.
Oh,
And I'm like, right.
okay.
So I'm going to find out what leads to
Right,
this moment,
I see where we're going.
But it doesn't tell you that everybody gets saved and everybody's sound. And the spider, spoiler alert, gets crushed by a fucking trash compactor.
Okay, that's fine.
Overall,
What size is it at the end?
massive. Fucking
Bigger than a
huge.
human?
Oh, aye. Huge.
Like, massive.
Mate, massive.
How's it even in the building?
Size of his living room.
How's it even in the building?
Makes his way, is it?
It just walks through the halls and that.
Kicks about. Mate, bro is a landlord.
Mate,
The spider is a landlord, mate.
honestly, I do fancy watching it.
It is good. I will be honest. It was actually really
I
good.
fancy watching it.
It was really good. I
fancy
would
watching it.
recommend it highly.
I've got a recommendation for you.
Go for it.
Have you ever seen The Umbrella Academy?
Never heard of it.
It's on Netflix. 4 seasons.
Okay.
Weird, but very good. Very good. So, literally, let me give you a quick spoiler alert. Let me give you a quick download on what's
We
going
always
on.
spoil shit, don't we?
Aye, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, basically, old guy, Sir Reginald Hargreaves, old
Cool
cunt.
name. Cool
Yeah,
name.
cool as fuck. Weird though. Like I've not quite I've actually had to watch the series about 3 times to understand because there's that many things going on. So he's there, right? He's got this big mad house, like loaded. He's obviously like a pure quadrillionaire, right? And then he goes. So on the it's like 1989, the 11th of August, 11:55. There's babies born all around the world from women that weren't pregnant in the morning of that day.
Okay.
Like they just become pregnant and have the baby
Okay.
in like seconds. They're all born, right? He goes and buys 7 of the kids
Okay.
because obviously it's like weird, right? So he goes round and buys 7 of these kids, right? Because they're all special, right? And to give you a wee character plot, right? So there's him, there's the woman in it who's the cleaner, but I think it was his wife as well at one point, who's an android. She's like a robot. So she cleans up and they all call her mum. Pogo, who's a chimpanzee, who like wears glasses and he's like teaches them kung fu and all that.
Okay.
Yep.
That's pretty
yep,
cool.
and can talk and all that. But I think Sir Reginald Hargreaves experimented on him when he was young, like a wee baby chimp, and made him like super smart and he can talk and all that. And then you've got 7 kids.
Okay.
So 7 kids are all special, but the way the series starts is he's died.
Okay.
So the first episode, he's died. Sir Reginald Hargreaves has died. It's his funeral.
Alright.
Right? So they've all came back together because they all split up. They were like superheroes when they were young and they've all split up. They all fucking hate each other, can't be fucked. Whatever. They're like very dysfunctional. So they all get called numbers, not names. So number 1, well, they all get names as they get older,
Yeah.
but when they were young, they're called numbers, right? Number 1, Luther. He's like massive. Big fucking strong as fuck. Like, that's his power. He's super strong. But at one point in the series, he's in space and he gets sent up to space, but Sir Reginald Hargreaves gives him something because he nearly dies, and he becomes like half ape. So he's like all hairy and he's fucking massive, like pure arms like that, huge. And he's about 7 foot tall, huge, fucking strong as fuck. He's number 1, right? But he's like super nice. Like he's like soft. Like personality wise. And a wee bit stupid. Secondly, Diego. Cool. He's can throw knives or any object, but he always uses knives. It's like Batman. He's like a vigilante and that's what he does. Goes out at night and saves people and that. So he's got like loads of knives, like throwing knives. Can throw them, like say threw it straight, can turn corners and go round. Yeah. So he can just control where it lands. So he never misses.
Okay.
Just him. Number 3, Alison is number 3.
Oh yeah, okay.
Alison's, so she's a movie star. Because she can say, I heard a rumour, and then say whatever she wants to say, and it happens. People have to, like, people automatically, like, so she could say to someone, I heard a rumour, you stop breathing, and the person can't physically breathe.
That's a cool one. I like that.
Yeah, so like it's like it hits them mentally. So like mentally they think I can't breathe now, and they can't force themselves to do
So
it.
it's like mind control almost.
Yeah, nearly. So then there's that. So then there's number 4, favourite, Klaus. He's class. You find out slightly down the series he's immortal.
Okay.
He can talk to ghosts. That's
Okay.
his power. He can talk to the dead. But you find out way further down the line he's actually immortal as well. He's died about 90 times. Never ever.
Has he realised this?
Nah.
Alright.
So he just thinks he gets like he's fell off a fucking ledge and fucking broke his neck. But he wakes up obviously just on the ground.
Okay.
So he's just like, oh, must
So-
have fucking landed alright.
so
Like,
he-
do you know what I mean?
So he just respawns.
Aye. So he just wakes up, Ken, and he's like, oh, must have landed alright then.
Okay.
Right, do you know what I mean? But as the series is or as the seasons go on, he starts to be able to recover quicker.
Okay.
So eventually it's like 5 seconds. He gets fucking blasted by an arrow, dies. 5 seconds later it's like, oh.
So he levels up.
Yeah. So it just gets quicker and quicker and quicker
Right,
because
okay.
initially it's like ages. Like I'm talking like 3, 4, 5 hours.
I wonder if he would even know because he's knocked out the whole time, isn't he?
He doesn't.
So
He doesn't. So that's what I'm saying. So he dies, and it's like literally like 12 hours later, wakes
Wait.
up, and he's like, "Fuck."
It's a good sleep though, isn't it?
Rough, but he's like heavy on the drugs and all that.
Right.
Like, so he's hilarious. Like he's heavy on the drugs and like he's always drunk and that. He's like he's funny as anything, right?
This is where the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger comes from, right?
Yeah, literally, right. So but he talks to ghosts as well. So that's really important, that part.
Okay.
Then you've got 5, who actually doesn't have a name.
Alright.
He's just number 5.
Okay.
But when they're kids, he can teleport.
Okay.
But when they were kids, he's like, I think I figured out how to time travel. And the dad, Sir Reginald Hargreaves, is like, no, you haven't. Don't do it, because don't fuck about with time. Because you'll not get it
Yeah,
right.
you can't alter the
So he
past.
he's like, fuck off, and runs away, and goes out, and he goes forward in time, right? And he's like, oh, class, goes forward again. Class, goes forward again, to the end of the world.
Right.
Everything's fucked. No one's left, other than him.
Okay.
And the problem is he can't figure out how to go backwards. He can only go
right.
forwards, right? So then he's like, shit,
Where'd I go from here?
how the fuck do I get back? Right? So he then ends up spending 60 years in the future with the end of the world on his own,
That's shit.
right? Then he eventually figures out how to get himself back, but he does the calculation wrong. So he ends up back in his kid-like body
Alright.
at that exact time. So like, he ends up back in his body when he was fucking 12-year-old, 13-year-old or whatever,
Right,
or
okay.
13-year-old or whatever.
But he's obviously been
But he's
alive
like,
for that
but
long.
he's like 70
In his head.
mentally. Yeah. So he's like, so he comes back at the funeral, comes back through a wormhole, and he's like, "We can't, like, I've made it back, right?" And then they're all like, "Oh, right." Do you know, they're like, "What the hell are you doing here?" Ken, it's been like 20 years. They're like, "What the hell?" And he's like, I figured it back out. But he's super clever because he's obviously like, shut up. Like, get out. He's like, didn't he talk to me? Right? And then there's number 6, who is Ben. He's not alive. He's dead.
Okay.
He died when they were kids.
Right.
But he has like big tentacles that come out. Like he's a big fucking like interdimensional tentacle monster.
Slenderman type of shit.
Literally. So he was badass. But then he died, and you don't find out how he dies until much, like, I'm talking season 4.
Right, okay.
They all just think they failed in a mission, but actually they'd been mind controlled by Sir Reginald Hargreaves.
Okay.
So they don't know. They actually don't know. Every time you ask them, they just go, "Oh, we failed on a mission. We need to try harder."
Right, okay.
And it's like automatic, and they're like, "Wait a minute!" Like eventually they go, "Wait a minute."
They figure it out.
Yeah. Why does no one actually know how he died?
Yeah.
And then they eventually figure out, right? So but he doesn't pass over into the afterlife. But he talks to Klaus. Because Klaus can see the dead.
That's
so
right.
he spends time with Klaus the whole time.
Okay.
And he grows as a ghost at the same time. So him and Klaus are the same age, but he's dead. So he talks to Ben all the time. But the problem with his family, and then number 7 is Vanya.
Alright.
She thinks she doesn't have a power.
Alright, okay. But she does.
But it turns out very early in the season 1 that she does have a power. Mm-hmm. And it's like some fucking massive energy power that can like bluter fucking everything, like white buildings and that. Like she's super powerful, but her power got restrained when she was young by Sir Reginald Hargreaves because he was like, no chance, she's a fucking liability.
Right, okay.
To give you a thing, in season 1, spoilers, she literally blows up the moon because she gets really raging.
Right.
And she directs it the wrong way and she blows the moon up. And then the moon comes down as an asteroid, and that's what ends the Earth.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but she doesn't know that. She doesn't know how to control it. She doesn't know.
Right, okay.
So, obviously, they're all just fucking about. And then they're trying to figure out why their dad's died. And then Vanya doesn't feel like she fits in and all that. They're super dysfunctional. Do not speak at all. Like, one of them gets kidnapped by a guy for like 10 days, comes back, doesn't say a word to anyone else.
Yeah, you would.
And I'm like, what, you're not going to say it? I'm like, why are we not saying anything here?
You would tell someone.
Yeah, but they don't tell anyone, right? So this is the problem. And Ben's there, and like he says things, and he's like, go and tell them all that. And then Klaus like, and just says that, and you're like Ken, he's got the answer. He's got the answer. Tell him, like, and he's like, I'm going to my room, and like just fuck, and you're like, right? So obviously they all fuck about for a while. These guys start coming after them, 2 dudes, right? A woman and a guy. They're from the Time Authority or whatever it's called.
The Time Police.
Literally. So they have a suitcase that can travel them in time into different dimensions in different places in time. This is where it gets fucked up. Mm-hmm. So they can travel in time in a suitcase or travel to other alternate realities at the same point in time in an alternate reality. Mm-hmm. Right? So everyone's got an alternate self in another reality except them.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So they 7 don't have alternate selves.
Okay.
Right? But everyone else does. So when Vanya hits the moon in season 1, he goes, 5 goes, I'm going to take us back in time. Way before this shit. And they go, right, cool. So they all end up in the 60s.
Right.
Season 2 is full in the 60s.
That's cool.
It is cool, bro. Because they all don't land in the exact same day.
Right, okay.
So he's time travelled them and they're in like a portal, imagine, but some of them fall out earlier than others. So like between 1960 and 1963, that's when they land.
Okay.
So they can't find each other, but they all get jobs and shit, doing different stuff. And then they're like, right, I need to find all of my siblings, but they're all in the same area.
Yeah.
Like they're all within the same town. They just can't find each other. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Because it's like San Francisco or something.
Yeah.
So they can't find each other in the town, but they're all doing different shit. Like Luther becomes like a bodyguard for a mafia guy because he's obviously massive. Mm-hmm. And then like Alison at the time, so this is mad. So Alison, she's like black. So this is obviously back then, they couldn't go like on the bus.
Yeah.
Or in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And shit like that because they were like second class citizens in America. Like, so she has all that to deal with, which is really interesting. Then like Diego ends up in an asylum. I'm sure. Yeah, like a mental hospital. Because he tries to he does some raj thing about he tries to save JFK. from getting shot.
Right,
So
okay.
then obviously he gets fucking booted in the mental asylum, right? Because he's like, JFK is going to get killed now. And they're like, shut up, mate. So they fucking put him in the asylum.
They wish they listened to him now.
Right? But this is the thing. So you find out how JFK gets shot and he doesn't get shot normally.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much in it.
Right, okay.
Right? And then Klaus becomes, because it's all hippies back then, so he starts a cult. So because he can talk to the dead and all that, like, they all get a cult behind him and they're all like that and all that, like Klaus, and he lives like on this, like a hippie and all that. Good, he's funny as fuck in it, right? And then 5 obviously lands last and he's like trying to figure out what the fuck's going on because there's Sir Reginald Hargreaves is alive then.
Okay.
And he's like, what the fuck's going on back here? But he's younger.
Yeah.
So he's like, what's happening back here? He's doing some shit. And I need to find out what. So then he starts figuring out, like, he's trying to follow him and all that, but Sir Reginald Hargreaves doesn't know them.
Right, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah,
then,
this is before, yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, who the fuck are these cunts? Right? And he's like, why is this guy trying to follow me? So then they've like kung fu fight and all that, right? It's mad. And then Vanya she lands on a farm outside the city. And she becomes pals with like this wee family because she lands on the road and they hit her with a car and then she stays and she helps them with, like, helps their kid.
Right.
Blah, blah, right? So then season goes on, right? And then obviously they all come together again and they do some shit. But back then was a weird time, right? So there's like aliens and fucking some other shit going on, right? But the Time Authority are also trying to fuck them up because they're like, you don't deserve, you don't belong here. Like but it turns out that number 5 has been in the Time Authority. He was their best assassin for 60 years.
Okay.
Right? And then season 3 goes to the next bit. They've gone forward in time again to the right time. But the problem is Sir Reginald Hargreaves met them all in the 60s, went, fuck that, I'm not adopting these cunts. Adopted 7 new kids in the future. So they've arrived at their house thinking, perfect, home.
Right.
So Reginald Hargreaves like, well, I met these guys, thought they're all failures. So I've adopted 7 different kids.
Yeah.
So then they all start fighting and all that, and then there's a lot going on with all that. And then some weird thing called a Kugelblitz happens, which is like a thing when you've changed time and you shouldn't be in that reality, and it starts to fucking blow up and kill people and all that. Right? It's like a big ball of energy, and it starts fucking shooting shockwaves and killing folk, but it doesn't kill them.
Right.
So then more weird shit happens. Don't want to ruin everything because there's a lot. More weird shit happens. Goes into season 4. They all lose their powers, and they get back to reality and they're fine.
Just regular people.
Regular people.
Right.
And they're like, oh my god, we've got back. Cool.
I'd be depressed if that happened to me. Like.
So then they find this weird formula, drink it,
Bring the powers back.
brings all the powers back. Right. That's how they got the powers in the first place.
Right.
But then this weird like girl, like they're supposed to stay away from her. She's in like this weird town and there's fucking Santa Clauses and they've all got machine guns and that try to protect her. And she basically can't be near any of them because it causes this big fucking warp in time, causes this big monster that can destroy reality. And because basically what you end up finding out is that it doesn't matter where they go, they should never have been born. That whole thing, when they all got born on the same day, they should never have been born. That was a science experiment. And it's fucked reality.
Yeah.
So it continues, but you have to watch this.
That
It's
sounds
so good. It's mate. There's no way in hell that you could watch it and guess what's going to happen. It's impossible. It's impossible. You're like, something happens and then something else happens and you're like, yes. Well, I've never seen that coming.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen that coming at all. And then you're like, then something else happens, you're like, well, it must go this way. No, something else happens. And you're like, motherfucker, what is going on? Like, you're like, I thought this was it. And then, but there's 4 seasons. It ends on the 4th season and it's class.
Well,
watch it.
I'll look into it. You guys look into it as well.
Watch it. I know I've spoiled some, but I've honestly not spoiled a lot in comparison to the season. Yeah.
It seems like there's
a lot of shit going
more
on and a lot in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for watching the show.
I appreciate you always. And if you have anything that you want us to talk about, discuss, any advice that you need, any
dilemmas, anything like that, funny stories, send them in. We'll happily do them. talk about them,
Yep.
read them out, whatever, anonymously.
We'll
and
DMs, anything like that.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
read them out.
100%. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and take care, and see you next time.
Peace out.